The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
This is Africa Diaspora Connect.
Join us as we take the journey from the motherland to America.
We share our experiences and learn from them.
Here is our host, Kibathi Gaturu.
Welcome to our debut show of the Africa Diaspora Connect. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for that amazing week, the support, the insights, the criticism. I take them all into consideration. Thank you so much. Death or taxes? Where on earth are we going with this? Well, listen up. We Africans in the diaspora, we are notorious when it comes to hard work. It's the immigrant mentality. Our diaspora remittances to pre-COVID were close to 50 billion with a B. In my homeland of Kenya, for example, diaspora remittances has been the leading source of forex, leading ahead of tourism and agriculture. A bulk of this coming from these United States. We do have that one date on the calendar, a date that we all fret about. It's April the 15th. It's a civic duty to pay your taxes. We all remember our first paycheck, that 40 hours, $5 an hour. Last time I checked, it's $200, right? Then why on earth was my paycheck reading $150? In Nairobi in the States, who took my money? Baptism by fire. Fuego! I have here with me my partner in crime. This man I've known for quite the longest time. Brother of mine, we go back ages. He's going to be our journeyman in the intricate world of taxation. Sam Njenga Bugua, also known as Big Bugua, Biggie. Welcome to Africa Diaspora Connects. Karibu sana. Bugua is an enrolled agent with the IRS. He's an enrolled actuary with the state of Massachusetts. His business is called S. Njenga LLC. He has an office right here in Waltham, Massachusetts. So tell us, Bugua, what got you to do what you do, and how long have you been doing it?
Thank you, Kibathi, for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Studio 21, for having us and hosting the Diaspora Network and Connect. Well, to start with, I'm a certified tax preparer. I do prepare personal taxes, business taxes. I'm also an enrolled agent with IRS, meaning I can represent you in case you get audited. In case I do your taxes, they have a question, they can come to me. So that is what I do. I also do small business loan applications. And with COVID, helping people with unemployment and helping people get that common PPP, Paycheck Protection Plan money that is going around. So let's talk about taxes.
Let's do that. Let's talk about taxes. So you're a one-stop shop. Let's start from the beginning, for example, right? Let's start with our kids, all right? We have young kids. I think your kids are starting to get jobs. You're your oldest. My kids started working. The first day of work, that ominous W-4, whatever it's called, where do you start to fill that out? How do you figure that form out? Just get started.
Well, W-4 exemption form is the first thing that you fill out after you fill out your application and you get a job acceptance. For example, if I come here at Studio 21, they hire me to claim, I have to pay taxes. They have to give me the form, W-4. Now, W-4 has been simplified under the new tax laws, under new Trump tax laws. It has been very simplified. Everybody is getting an automatic exemption. So it's not like before whereby you had to say, I'm married, I'm claiming one, I'm claiming two. Oh. So all you have to do is just say, marital status single, everything else is automatic. Married, automatic. Widower, automatic. Head of household, automatic. Okay. So there is no doing 1, 2, 3, 4 anymore.
All right. So you heard it. So for example, a single guy, let's call him Uma, all right? He rents, he has no kids, he has one job. This guy can file taxes on his own. So why would he need someone like you? What do you guys do? When do we need you guys?
Well, doing a simple taxes, most people do it by themselves, but it's always good to have a profession do it. Because if the IRS comes after you, you need somebody who can start with you and somebody who can go through the errors and rectify your taxes. So most people think, oh, I can do it by myself. But it is hard. It's a lot of work. And you need somebody to do it for you so that it can be done right.
All right, there you heard it. So let's give you an example. I'm a nurse or I'm a contractor, for example. I work crazy hours. I'm looking to maintain as much of my paycheck as is possible. I don't want to give it all to Uncle Sam. I've heard of this time called a 1099 being floated around. What's a 1099 and how does that work?
Well, there are various types of 1099, but for employers and employees, they normally give 1099 miscellaneous.
Okay.
1099 miscellaneous means you are an independent contractor, meaning you are liable for your own taxes. So you go to work, your employer pays you, no taxation, no benefits. That's what we call a 1099.
Okay. And is that something that you'd advocate for?
Well, I would advocate for it because, that's the only way you can be able to do more deduction on your taxes.
Okay, understand. So as an employee, for example, what can we take advantage of? You're employed, you have a 9 to 5. From a benefits perspective, what can I do to lower my taxable income?
Well, what you need to do to lower your taxable income is getting all the benefits that your employer can offer.
Okay.
For example, everything that is pre-tax, from health insurance,
Okay.
that one will lower your taxes. Number 2, 401, whether it's 401k, traditional, 401 Roth, any benefit that your employer is giving you and it's pre-tax, take advantage of it.
Okay.
If you're working for the state, they have 403, take it. 401k, most of the employers nowadays, they match, others don't match. Others will pay 50 cents per every dollar that you are putting in your 401k. So put as much money on the benefits from your employer to lower your taxes.
The IRS, we hear that, we hear those initials, we just freak out. There have been scams that have circulated far and wide that have the IRS slant to them. What do we need to look out for? For example, people who've, like I said, we have young adults right now who are getting into the workforce. When do you know you're getting scammed with these phone calls? What are the telltale signs that, wait a minute, this is a scam, hang up, don't do anything you want to do?
What I would tell to my fellow Africans in the diaspora, especially in the USA, the Internal Revenue Authority or the IRS, they never call you. They never call you unless you authorize them to call you. So anybody who is calling you and saying, oh, you owe this money, pay with a debit card, send me money, that's a scam right there. The IRS only communicate with the mail. They will send you 3 mails. If you don't respond, they will send you 3 certified mails. If you don't respond, they will send it to your employer. They have so many ways of getting you. They can garnish your wages. They can go to your bank account. That's when you know the IRS is looking for you. But any other phone call, my friend, don't answer, don't pick up.
And they're asking for your social.
And they're asking for your social. Do not do it. Do not give information. Somebody is doing it from India or Jamaica.
All right.
So do not answer that phone call.
That leads to my next question. So I was in Zamunda last year in December, and I opened up an account. I won't say the bank just yet until they sponsor us. I had to fill up a form, and they asked me for my social. Why? And I'm in Zamunda. Well, what's that all about?
Well, there is this agreement about taxation between the USA and Kenya, but you don't have to provide your social security in Kenya because what they're going to do at the end of the year, they can report that income over, and it's taxable. And every time you do your taxes, there is a question that asks you, did you earn any income in a foreign nation, in a foreign country? If you say yes, then you have to provide that information. But so far, so good.
Okay.
I don't think any Kenyan has paid taxes for money they are making in Kenya or in Africa. Other parts of Africa, I don't know, but I know for sure nobody is paying taxes for money they are making in Kenya.
Terrific. You heard it here, ADC. So I'm looking to start a business, for example, just a business, and I'm trying to figure out, what do I go about register? I hear all these terminologies. What's an S corp? What's all this stuff? How do I know the best way to start my business as I'm getting started?
Well, there are various types of business that you can start up. You can do sole proprietorship. You can do LLC, that is limited liability company. You can do an S corp. You can do a C corp.
Okay.
Everything here is all about taxation. That's why they have LLC. When you have an LLC, we prepare a tax form called 1065 or Schedule K. That way, whatever you make on your LLC, if you make a profit of $50,000, it's transferred to your personal taxes.
Okay.
So you have to pay those taxes. For the S corp is a company that has shareholders. So, and the profit from the S corp does not pay taxes. The shareholders, they're the one who pays taxes. For the C Corp, it's a little complicated. S Corp is a sub-chapter of the IRS for the company not to pay the taxes, but the individuals or the owners to pay the taxes. For the C Corp, the owners and the companies, they pay taxes.
Wow, it's a lot of information. Check this dude out, man. He knows it all, man. We're living and we're learning. Let's talk about unemployment. When can I collect unemployment? What are the conditions for you to be eligible to collect unemployment?
Well, unemployment differs from state to state. I'll give you an example. In Massachusetts, if you get fired, if you lose a job, if your company closes out, there are two types of unemployment going on right now. There is the UI, also known as unemployment insurance.
Okay.
But there is what we have now called PUA, pandemic unemployment. So it's up to you to choose the right one. But for regular unemployment, which we call UI, you have to go to the Department of the Labor, the Department of Workforce, fill out an application. If you qualify, they'll start paying you. But they pay a percentage of how much you make on your last paycheck.
How about in a situation where someone is collecting unemployment because they don't want to go to work? How does that affect the employer? Does the employer have to pay some kind of tax or some kind of insurance for that? And how does that work?
Well, number one thing that people forget is unemployment money is not your money.
Okay.
It is not the government money. It is other people's money. Your employer puts that money every month.
Okay.
Not knowing that that money will be paid to you in the near future. So what the state does, they are very strict with the regular UI, unemployment insurance. Every week, you have to fill out what we call a work search log. If you don't do a work search log, you have to state the employer, where you went looking for a job. So if you don't state that for the next 4 weeks, for the next payout, they'll cut you off.
Okay, no shortcuts out here.
But for the PUA, it's mainly for the people you are talking about, the people with 1099, the independent contractors. Those are the people who are benefiting with the PUA due to the pandemic.
All right. Now, let's talk about COVID right now. What determines who's going to get this stimulus package?
Well, that's a good question. But until the Congress comes up with the way forward about the stimulus, we don't know yet. But going to the other one that we had, the last one we had, people got off $100. That money is not going to be taxable. You're not going to pay that money. There was no obligation. You did not sign anywhere that you got the money. So that was a free stimulus money. But for the companies, those people who got the Paycheck Protection Plans, PPP, you have to pay the money. Those people who got the SBA, Small Business Administration loans, you have to pay back the money. So we are waiting on the second one, but the first one, a lot of people benefited. But people have to put in mind, if you got any loan from the IRS, if you got any loan from your paycheck company, if you got any loan from the SBA, you have to repay that money. The only money that you're not going to pay back, if you qualify for forgiveness. If they forgive you, there is a process that is coming up. They are calling it Paycheck Protection Plan forgiveness. If you qualify, then you don't have to pay the money back. And this is how the PPP is working. The money that you get, 60% of the money has to go to the payroll.
Okay.
40% has to go to your other expenses, rent, bills, electricity, whatever you pay in the office. Okay. So at the end of the day or at the end of the year, you have to account for all the money that you got from the government or from your paycheck company or from your payroll company. All that money has to be accounted for. But for SBA, it's 3.5%. If you haven't gotten one, try to apply for one, and you never know.
Okay. Last but not least, we spend all our adult life working here in the United States. By the time I retire, I'll be here maybe, 40 years or something of that nature. I'm looking to understand, at the end of this rainbow, that my pot of gold, what's Uncle Sam going to give me from a Social Security perspective? I've been working here, I'll be working for almost 40 years. How big is my pot of gold?
Your pot of gold is determined by two things: your retirement age, how many years you have worked, and how many credits you have earned with the Social Security Administration. There are two types of Social Security benefits. There is the one for disability. The one for the disability is different from the regular retirement Social Security. So you cannot get your Social Security benefits if you haven't worked for 10 years, and if you have not reached the age of 62. You can reach the age of 62 and still work for the next 6 years and still get the Social Security benefit. If you choose not to take your Social Security benefit when you reach the retirement age of 65, let's say you start taking it when you are 71 or 70, then your benefits will go high at the end of the year. So if you are 62 years old, you have worked for 10 years, you have reached your 40 points or credit, just talk to the Social Security office. They will tell you how much you qualify. Most people get 44.7% of your last year's income. So I'll give you an example. If you made 75,000 last year, and you have reached the age of 62 or 65, and you wish to retire right now. So if you do 44% of 75, that's about $34,000. So if you multiply that by every month, you divide that by 12 months, that means you are getting between 2,700, 2,800, not factoring in the Medicare that you have to pay with your Social Security money. So those who have reached 62 years of age, you have attained the credits, you have attained the number of the years, talk to your local Social Security office and start enjoying your benefits. But I'll say this, you have to be either a US citizen or you have to be legally in the United States. Otherwise, that money, you're not going to touch it.
Okay. And what's the cap? Well, what's the cap?
There is no cap. The more money you make, the more you're going to get. So there is the minimum that you can get. Most people, the minimum you can get, no matter how many years you work, no matter how much you made, it's about $1,200 a month. That's the minimum. But people can get up to $3,500. It doesn't matter whether you made millions. It doesn't matter whether you made hundreds. There is always the maximum that it can give you.
And that's a cap.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we are learning a lot here right about now. This is amazing information, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Big Bogwa. I'm hoping that the viewers out there will take heart to this, and hopefully your phone call should be ringing loudly very soon. So listen, guys, give Caesar's his due. All right? That's what we're all about here. But now, tune in next week as we switch gears a little bit. The topic will be food, and not just any kind of food. The man who put the Q in cuisine. He will whet your palate, bring your appetite as our very own senior sous chef. The man himself, Chef Wainaina, delivers a masterpiece. Once again, folks, thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you on an airwave near you. Suiting out, Kibathi Gaturu, the bondsman. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.